Butterfly Eye Makeup and Lip Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you this it's relatively simple for a crazy face painted design type of thing. It's pretty basic on the lip art spectrum too, so if you're looking for something to kind of step out of your comfort zone and do something crazy with your makeup, definitely give this a try. It's really perfect for the spring, summer type season. I love it. The eye makeup really reminds me of a masquerade mask as well, which I like that too. Plus, I'm going to be showing you these cute little stands that I got for some beauty blenders and some new sponges that I got. So here are the little stands. They came in this little box, which I struggled to get open because I am I have problems with tape, much like I do with glue, and it wasn't working. So anyways, here they are. There are three colors. There's a light pink, a dark pink, and then a sky blue, and they're really just cute, simple little designs. They're just wire little springs, and they sit pretty well. They're just cute, and they hold up your makeup, your beauty blenders, and things like that from getting all gross sitting on your table or in a drawer or something. So this little set that I got came with two of the sponge beauty blenders like that, and they fit really well in those little holders, which I don't know, those holders are adorable. I love those. And then it came with 3 silicone sponges, which I had never used or even really seen or touched before, so I was pretty excited to try those because you see so much on the internet about them. I was curious. So it came with 3 of those, 2 of those other sponges, and then a charcoal cleansing sponge that has a little string on it. So those are what came in the kit. And so just try out the silicone sponge because I was very eager to do so. I pretty much had to do this immediately. I'm just gonna apply some foundation to my arm. And as you can see, it worked out really well, actually. Like I said, I've never used one of these, so it was a very interesting experience. I didn't exactly know what I was doing. And yeah, it worked really well. And what's nice about these is that it doesn't absorb any of the product, so it doesn't waste anything. So as you can see, I got a huge surface coverage from that silicone sponge, much more than I get from the beauty blender. But I mean, they do both have their purposes and benefits to them. And actually in this video, I did use both when I did the makeup. So there's both of them. They both worked really well. And so now to do the design, I didn't actually apply any foundation, but I did apply concealer. So I put concealer underneath my eyes, along the bridge of my nose, and then any little blemishes that I had that I wanted to cover, as well as freckles, because I've got a couple weird randomly placed freckles that I usually might just try to cover them up. So I'm going to, anywhere besides right underneath my eyes, I blended out the concealer with that little beauty blender, and it worked out really well. It did not compromise any of the coverage whatsoever, and it blended things out really nicely. So I was pretty impressed with that. And I'm just going to go over, and the reason I didn't go directly underneath my eyes is because I felt like it wasn't as delicate as I would like right there, so then that's where I went in with that little beauty blender and I concealed underneath my eyes. The beauty blender, however, did take away some of the coverage that the concealer has to offer. So it's kind of like a pick what you want to do with that, but it did blend things really well into my skin. So I just went over just a little bit, any place that seemed like it needed just a little more smoothing out with that beauty blender. And then I'm going to be taking and applying a little bit of a powder over to set that concealer, and because I did have a moisturizer on underneath, it's just going to make sure everything is matte and a good even sheen on my face. And in a moment here, you're going to see I way exploded with the powder. I don't know what happened there. I had an incident, but I definitely did have plenty of powder on my face at that point. So then I'm going to be doing the eyes, and I'm going to apply some eyeshadow primer as a base over my eyelids, and I'm just going to make sure I blend that in, as well as underneath my eyes. Even though there's already concealer and powder and all that's done, you can still apply some primer underneath there, and as you can see, it didn't really compromise the concealer. So that does work. It's, it's probably not normal, but it works out fine. So then I'm going to take some really light purple eyeshadow over my lid, just like that, and then I'm going to start blending in the crease. First, I started out with this medium purple. All of the purples that I'm using here are kind of like a blue toned purple. They're not the pinker tone purple. And this purple that I'm using, this purple eyeshadow, has a gold shimmer in it, which was perfect for the design that I was doing. So I was really excited to use that one because I haven't used it very much. So I was pretty happy about that. That worked out really well. So I did that, first blended that out, and then with just a slightly darker shade of purple, I'm going to go through and deepen the crease just a little bit more. You want to make sure that your eyeshadow doesn't get to the point where it's almost black as far as how dark it gets, because then your black lines aren't going to show up nearly as well. But it can, you do want it to definitely be purple, because it's a butterfly wing. And then I add just a little gold shimmer to the inner corner, and then a little bit of a light icy type purple on my brow bone, and then I'm going to be filling in my eyebrows with dark purple. Normally I don't actually fill in my eyebrows, and if I do, I'm going to use like a medium brown, but in order to keep with the whole purple theme, I decided that purple would really be appropriate. And plus, the benefit of doing this, especially if you use eyeshadow as I'm doing, it's not like purple in your face, it just has this undertone of purple that gives you that feeling without it being overbearing. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to apply some purple eyeliner to my waterline, and then go underneath on my along my lash line with some of those two darker purples that I used in my crease. So first with the darkest one, and then after I have that, and just a nice line. And I am a firm believer that you want to use little bits and build, so that's what I do. And then I'm going to take some of that medium purple and just go through and blend that out along my lash line. I don't want any harsh lines, I want that part to remain really soft. So then, using black eyeliner, I'm going to be creating my winged eyeliner first. So this is just like your normal winged eyeliner. In the next couple steps, be prepared for me to say the word wing a lot. And to do this, I am actually using black body paint. I love body paint. I use body paint for eyeliner every single time I do eyeliner because I personally have a good experience with it. It's a really good consistency for me. Everything goes well, but it's completely understandable if you don't have or like to use body paint, in which case you can just go ahead and use eyeliner as well. That would be a-okay. There wouldn't be any problems with that whatsoever. And then after you have your wing in there, try to keep it relatively thin. You don't want that part of the black to get too overbearing or too thick. Then I'm going to go through and just basically just sketch out where the little lines of the edge of the butterfly's wings are. So we're done with the wing of the eyeliner, now we're working on the butterfly wing. And so I'm just going to keep going through, and at one point I'm going to switch up the brush that I'm using because I decided a different little one would be better, which is what I'm doing now. So I just switched to a smaller brush just to get better details and better control over what I'm doing compared to that little angled one that I had. And so you're going to thicken up the top edge of each of the line. Almost think of it like if you do calligraphy, how one edge of the line is thin and then it gets thicker once you change directions. Same concept. So when it goes to the flat, when it goes horizontal, you're going to want to make them thicker. And also blend them out or curve out the lines so that there's not these little sharp corners on the inside. I hope that makes sense. But as you can see, like between the two lines, it becomes almost like a little round shape, it doesn't come to a point on the inside. After you have all that done, go ahead and add little white polka dots within that thicker black line along the top edge. Make sure that the white polka dots are the largest towards the outer corner of your eye as they get a little smaller as they progress towards the inner corner of your eye. And then I'm going to be curling my eyelashes and applying some black mascara. At this point, if you do not like false lashes, you can skip the next step and just stick with the mascara. That's just fine. I personally actually hate false eyelashes, but I decided I would just put them on anyway. So that is what I'm doing here, applying false eyelashes. And in case you're wondering, the reason I hate them is because I am terrible at putting them on. So it just usually is an aggravating experience. It actually went pretty well today, so it's a little encouraging. Anywho, apply them if you like, or don't. It's okay. And then I'm going to take and apply a gold flake glitter to the inner corner of my eye. This is actually an amazing product, and I cannot think of what it's called right now. I will put it in the description box below. I don't know where my brain is. Anyways, it's amazing. And it stays forever. So if you're interested in some really metallic gold flake stuff, check that out because it's quite impressive. So then after that, your eyes are done, and I'm going to start the lips. Now to begin the lip art, I'm going to begin by lining my lips. This is just an outline so I know what I'm doing and I don't end up lopsided or uneven once I start doing the gradient, because when you're doing a gradient, it doesn't always turn out perfect unless you have lines to stay within. So this is the lines that you're going to stay within. As you can see, I'm using a burgundy color, which you cannot see in the end. So it doesn't really matter what color the lip liner is. I wouldn't use, say, green, just because that would definitely show up if there was a little bit that showed. But this burgundy, if a little shows in the end, it's not really going to be that noticeable. And then I'm going to take and apply a really gorgeous purple in the center of my lips, and then some indigo in the outer corners, and then blend that together with a lip brush. And I am using a liquid lipstick that dries quite dry. It's on the drier side of things once it's finished, once it's done. The reason that I'm using that in particular is because I'm going to be using some more of that body paint, and body paint is going to sit much better on top of a dry product than it is on top of a more oily, pliable product like a regular lipstick. So after I have the gradient done on my lower lip, I'm going to go through and do the upper lip. And as you can see, it's really easy at this point to make sure that you're even from side to side if you do have that lip liner on. And even at this point, it is pretty much gone. You can't see too much of it. And then once you add that black line around it, it's going to completely disappear and it shouldn't show whatsoever. So as I said before, it doesn't really matter what color. So I'm just blending that together once again from side to side. And if you are using a liquid lipstick that dries on the quicker side, make sure that you are working quick enough that it's not going to dry before it's blended out properly. So then after I have that part done, I'm going to take just a little bit of a gold pigment and I'm going to just add a little shimmer to the right in the center of my lips, both upper and lower. Not too much. I didn't want it to be, oh, there's gold right there. I want it to just be like a hint, a touch, just a very slight little bit of that gold shimmer, which is kind of, purple and gold is the whole theme of today. And so then after I have that, then you can go through and you can do your outlines. And once again, like I said, I'm using body paint to outline my lips, but body paint, as I said before, is not something everyone has or everyone likes to use, and you can go back and use the exact same thing. I debated with myself whether I wanted to use black liquid lipstick, which I even had out, and it was sitting next to me. I'm like, oh, do I want to use that? But then I decided, no, I'm just going to stick with the body paint. Body paint is, well, mine is water-based, and so as soon as you get water on it, it's probably going to change shape. It's going to run or it's going to smear or something. So using it on your lips is not always recommended. However, since it is on the outside edge of my lips, I don't usually get water there when I'm drinking. So I wasn't too worried about it, and I decided I would go with that anyway, and I feel like I have better control over that than I would either eyeliner or liquid lipstick, but both of those would work in this circumstance. So once I have the top lip lined, I'm going to go through and do the bottom lip, and as you can see, I did this, and it's relatively thick. It's a thick line. You want to make sure that it's a line that is thick enough that once you add your little white polka dots, it is still, you can still tell that there's black there, that the white polka dots don't take over. They're more kind of like the gold shimmer in the center. The white polka dots aren't the focus of this. It's kind of like a little hint of white polka dots. So they're relatively small so that they don't take over. But you do have to have room for them, so make sure that your black line is thick enough. So now that I have all that spewed out, I'm going to take and I'm going to be adding my white polka dots. And I'm using, for both the white polka dots on my eyes and my lips, this is once again body paint. However, there are alternatives for that as well. They might not work as well. White body paint really does have a controllability and a vibrancy that really helps for this, but there is some white eyeliners that are very good that could do this, and there is white lip paint that could also work. I haven't used either of those things, but if you have them on hand, they could definitely be a substitution or an alternative. So now that I've got that done, just like that, the last thing that I did on this is that I just added a little gold highlight on my cheekbones and then just a touch down the bridge of my nose. So I'm using the same gold pigment that I've used pretty much all the way through this. I used a little bit on the inner corners of my eyes and then the lips and then on my cheekbones just to really unify the entire thing and make sure that it all looks like it goes together. So I've got that one side done just like that. I'm going to be adding just one swipe down the center of my nose, and that is it. I had so much fun doing this. I have a purple butterfly shirt and gold butterfly headband, so it all really worked out pretty well for me. I really enjoyed doing this. I hope you like it, and if you do any recreations with me, please share them on Facebook and Instagram. I would love to see them. And if you are a butterfly fan and you love purple and butterflies and you are a nail art fanatic, which you very well could be looking at my channel, then I have a butterfly design that's made into a ring with gel. I hope you look at that, and there'll be a link to that in the description box below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!